10 o'clock. Starting a live. Never done a share live before. So we're going to see how this works out. And because I never done a share live before, I didn't know that you had to keep your phone vertical on the live. So my phone is in a very, very sensitive and dangerous position right now. So if it falls over, you know why. Where mic is up, I don't know. Is he gonna come? I don't know. But if he doesn't, this will be a short live. Hey, my boy Phil, what's up, bro? Appreciate you, by the way. Appreciate you. If Mike doesn't show up, I think he should have to pay me at least, I don't know, $5,000. I feel like that's a good price. But if he doesn't have it, I'll settle for like $2,500. Phil, what you on this morning, bro? Oh, I'm getting old. Oh, you in the cave, bro? For what? I might go on a little run today too. Did my first snatches in like 3 months yesterday, so my knee is a little achy, but we're gonna see what happens. See what happens. I'm gonna try to check my text messages without knocking my phone over right now. Bro, Edison's in school? How old is he, bro? I feel like time just be flying. I thought Edison was like a toddler, bro. That's crazy. That's insane, bro. Oh, he's 3. What is he on spring break from? He on spring break from being a kid, bro. Ooh. Can you go to school at 3 years old, bro? Never heard of that in my life. Also, what does this look like on your screen? Because on my screen, since I'm waiting for Mike to join, there's like a big black space on the bottom of my screen. Am I on a full screen for you or no? Yeah, D, your phone might be broke, bro. You might have bad service, bro. Click the if you're watching on your phone, click the settings. It It might have a quality changer on there. Maybe. I don't know. I barely watch other people's lives. Like when I do click it, like I'm like driving or whatever. So I just kind of listen to it. I've never actually like looked at the quality before. Yeah, 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 exactly. I know it's not full screen on the sides because my phone's vertical. That's what I was saying when I first got on here. I never done a shared live before. So I already had my camera like propped up in position and stuff, and it's like you need to turn your camera around, and I'm like, what? Like, so it's forcing me to record this shared live in a vertical position. So I don't know. Let me see. Maybe I'm gonna click the settings. Nah, there's not even a way. Not even a way you could change that. So I have to record it vertically, which is kind of weird. But maybe, assuming he shows up, if he joins, maybe it's gonna fill out the whole screen. So it's gonna be vertical for us, but not for y'all. I don't know. I really don't know. But like I said, um, if he doesn't come, then it's gonna be a regular live. I'm gonna give him like 15 minutes. If you don't show up in 15 minutes, I might close this, do a regular live just so I could put my phone back horizontal. He didn't text me, so I'm assuming he's still gonna show up. He lives in Georgia, so he wouldn't be sleeping right now. Might be in traffic or something. But Devontae Fuller, this your first time in a live, huh? You missed the last few. Is the morning a better time for you? This is early for me. And I only did this because of Mike. Because I would never get on live this early in the morning. Ever. I don't know if Devontae's still up in here. Do, 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 do. Phil, how long you on the K, bro? Okay. You gonna try to get on your phone at night. Oh, that's why you said like 9 p.m. that one time or whatever. What's up with that? Why you only get on your phone at nighttime? Is that like a productivity thing? Like trying to be more productive? Or do you just feel like your phone don't deserve that much attention or what? I'm not gonna lie, I'm like real educational with my internet usage. So I'll be on my phone a lot, but not necessarily like mindlessly scrolling all the time. Be watching YouTube videos and shit. Yeah, I can agree with that. It's definitely a time suck. Um, but like I said, I think it depends on how you use it. I use I mean, like even like the entertainment stuff that I listen to has like a kind of a bigger purpose. Not like I don't listen to like funny stuff or whatever, but it's it's part of a bigger plan. So I'd be using it to further language learning and stuff like that. So even if it's jokes, it's giving me another insight as far as language goes. And so where you at with your Spanish? If you listen to Spanish podcasts, you must be learning. Where you at? Can you speak? Can you have conversations? Feels back till Tuesday. But sure, you said you was going to the park to run. You got a workout, or are you just about to just do like a free run? Because if you got a workout, I might do it with you, bro. Might do the exact same run. Comprehensive input. Okay, but like, what level are you at though? Because um, I could tell you some stuff that'll make that. I could give you some stuff that'll be on your level of comprehensive input if you let me know where you're at. I'm back. Mike has 3 minutes to show up, or I'm suing him for at least $2,000. Hey, good morning. Okay, beginner, intermediate. All right, let me ask you this: if a random person walked up to you and asked you, "Do you speak Spanish?" Are you saying yes, or are you saying, "Oh, I'm learning right now"? Like, can you have a full conversation? Because if you say intermediate, that makes me think that you can have a full conversation. If you can't, then I would just think you're a beginner. If you say un poco, that means you can't have a conversation. 30-minute run, nothing with structure. Alright, I'm on it. I'm gonna do a 30-minute run today too then. Okay, you're a beginner. Well, I could give you a bunch of stuff you could listen to. Because if you're at that level, it's good to mix a little bit of the grammar stuff with the actual input stuff. So there's a lot of podcasts that actually talk slow in Spanish to teach you the Spanish grammar, kind of like you're a little kid. So actually, I mean, I could write them in the chat. You might know them already. Let me give you the name of some podcasts. Oops, spelled that wrong. Dos. Oh, I gotta look up the rest of these. I forgot 'em. Yeah, dreaming Spanish is cool. Let me hop on Google real quick. These are not the podcast I was looking for. You know what? Let me look at my own channel real fast. I'll just look at the people that I follow. I think I can do that. Give me a second. I'll find it. Okay, go to my subscriptions. Okay, can you turn that air off or whatever that is? Thanks. So did you know about that one? Did you know about No Hay Tos? That's a good one. Oh, I didn't even see you put another one. Dream in Spanish and Cuéntame. I never heard of the Cuéntame one. Lightspeed Spanish is one of my favorite ones. I definitely used to watch them more when I was learning or in the beginning stages of learning, but they put out all kinds of content, like not just beginner content. Like they're both very, very fluent. And I mean, one of them is a native Spanish speaker. Let me see. Let me just make sure I spell Lightspeed right. Okay, I don't want to put anyone's name wrong. So you got Lightspeed Spanish. Oh, you know Lightspeed Spanish? Okay, that's good. Let me see. There's one or two more that I listened to a lot in the beginning. I just want to make sure I get their names right. It's too early in the morning, bro. I can't even think of these podcast names, bro. That's how bad it is. Let's see. Oh yeah. How to Spanish. I don't know if you heard it, but I will put it in there anyways. Maybe somebody else will see it. And then there's one more. I can't think of anyone's names, bro. Why not Spanish? There we go. See, luckily, all these people like have a little catchphrase, so it helps me remember it. I just gotta think of how they say their catchphrase. For some reason, that one's not popping up. Let me see, why not? That's because I didn't type Spanish. That's why I just typed why not. Okay, so their channel is all together. Why not Spanish? Put that in chat. So, why not Spanish? I haven't actually seen them in a long time, but I used to really enjoy that channel. Again, another couple. One of them is a fluent Spanish speaker. The other one is learning. I don't know where he's at in his learning now, but he used to be really beginner. And he's country too. He's from down south, so you can hear it all in his Spanish. But over the years, from practicing and they moved to Colombia and everything. Like his Spanish, I remember the last few times I saw him make videos, his Spanish was like really, really picking up. So don't know what level he's at now, but it helped me out a lot when I first started. Espanol con Juan, yeah. That's a good one too. I liked his videos because he would repeat stuff a lot, like he was talking to a little kid, right? So like it would really help you get some concepts. Like it's like comic how it's comical how many times he says stuff in a row. But that's how you teach like someone that doesn't know something, right? So he's like very exaggerated, hands, voice. Si tuviera, and he just keeps doing it like that. It's I like this channel. Very animated, very, very fun. Spaniard. Not my favorite accent, but he's cool. He's a cool dude. Hey, yo, Francis. Is that how you say your name? Is it Francis or is it Frances? I actually don't know. Your last name's Hall, so I imagine that your name is Francis. Yeah, but if y'all got any other podcasts that y'all listen to, call you chilling. Why chilling? Yeah, drop any other podcasts that y'all listen to or YouTubers that you follow that you learn Spanish from because everyone will have someone that they, take to better. I used to go to videos that said best podcast to learn Spanish. And I wouldn't even really watch the video. I go in the comments and people will be like, oh, those are cool, but I like these five. And I check out the five that they put. Because then if the comment section is like packed, you get like 20 podcasts out of it. And like I said, there'll be certain people that you might learn more from because of their style of teaching or whatever. So just because I'm giving you these suggestions doesn't mean that you're gonna like them or that you're gonna learn well from them. Like someone else might put something in here that I've never heard of, and it might be the best thing ever for you. So my friends call me Cheddar, but why though? I want to know why they call you that. Does it have something to do with your middle name? Is it actually because like why? And where do you live at that people are calling you Cheddar? Or is it Shell? See, I can't tell if we're I can't tell which voice I'm supposed to be reading it in. Yes. Yes, what? Oh, okay. So Lachelle. Your middle name is Lachelle. Yes. See, I was about to be calling you Chelly. Okay. And where are you from? Where are you from and where do you live? Okay, you're from Los Angeles. Is that why you want to learn Spanish? What made you want to learn Spanish? I don't even know where you're at in your journey. You comment on my stuff a lot. I see you on other people's videos too, but I don't actually know how much Spanish you know. What level would you say you're at? Can you have conversations? Also, Devante, well, actually, both of y'all, anybody that comes into this chat, like, if there's any questions that you have for me, maybe a concept that I might be able to help you with, maybe, um, let me know. Because sometimes, so I like learning from native speakers, right? And I like learning concepts in Spanish. But there are some things that sometimes when someone else explains it that speaks the same native language as you, they can sometimes make like kind of a connection that maybe a native speaker wouldn't be able to make because it's not something that they can relate to or something. So, okay, you're almost 2 years in. That's good. It's good consistency right there. Where would you say you're at? Are you confident in your Spanish? Not confident? What do you think you're lacking in your Spanish game? Do you still help or you still need help? Oh, okay. You still need help speaking. I'm guessing that's how that was all supposed to be put together, right? Why are you why are you typing in caps? I feel like you're yelling at me right now. Okay, what goes wrong when you're speaking? What would you say is your downfall? Are you freezing up? Can you not understand what people are saying to you? Like what is it? That's it. Can't understand people or freezing up or both. the the simple and tough solution to that is you have to do it more. But there are some things that I would say if you don't like a lot of times people say like, oh, I can't understand them, they're speaking too fast, or their accent is crazy. But a lot of times it's just straight up you don't know what they're saying. Like you don't have the knowledge. You might think that you're at a higher level than you are, um, but maybe you're not. And so that means you just need to learn more stuff. The content that you're actually consuming on your own time, you might need to downgrade it a little bit so that you can understand more. Because there's just certain things that if you have a good understanding of it, even if someone says it fast or I don't know, maybe like you didn't catch all of it, you'll be like, they could have only said this. You get what I'm saying? Like, for instance, in English, uh, like no matter how fast I say, no matter how fast I say, "What's up? How's it going?" Like, "What's up? How it going?" Like, you're gonna know what I said because of the situation that we're in and like the limited options, right? And so that same kind of shit happens in Spanish. Like, no one's gonna like say "Cómo estás?" Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like people say "Cómo está?" You know, they say it fast. Hey, buen día. You know, just they're gonna just speak fast. So they're gonna assume that you can speak, and like, there's no way that you're gonna misinterpret "Good morning" or "How you doing" or whatever. So they're not gonna say that slow. And so if you don't have like a big arsenal of greetings and like basic convo stuff, you're gonna be caught off guard by the greeting. They're gonna say something else. You're gonna be still thinking about the greeting. So then you miss the next part, and then like you're just like, oh fuck, what's happening right now? I know, because that has happened to me in the past. Spanish blueprints. Yeah, I follow him on here, and I I have reached out to him. I reached out to him a long time ago actually, and he said he was busy. So that was the end of it for me. I don't run people down. So if he ever wants to do a video in the future, I'll do it. But yeah, I watch his stuff. I follow him. We follow each other on Instagram and TikTok and all of that stuff. But he said his schedule was super busy, so I was like, okay, well, hit me up later. But yeah, he's a cool dude. Yeah, so like I was saying, maybe, maybe like think of the last conversation that you had where you felt lost, and I don't know, maybe you're at a level now where you can look back and say like, oh, I know what he was saying now, because I do that. Like I think about conversations that I had, my first 6 months, first year of Spanish, and like I got like really tripped up by some stuff that people said. And like I look back on it now and I'm like, how did I not understand what they were saying? But of course, like now, like I know a lot more. So I still remember the words that they said, but at the time I couldn't understand it. And I look back and I'm like, that was actually simple, which is why they were probably like confused and frustrated because they're like, it seems like you speak Spanish, but clearly you don't because this is such a simple concept. Um, and so a lot of times that's literally what it is. It's just it is a simple concept and you just don't know as much as you think you do. And that's okay. That's fine. That's a good thing. You got a lot to learn. Only good things to come. So, but you specifically, if you can think of what was the last conversation like, where were you at, and what did they kind of say that threw you off, or what did you mess up? What did you mess up? Because you said you mess up all the time speaking to people. When was the last time you messed up that you can remember? Maybe we can talk about things that you need to work on so that the next time that you talk about that, um, it'll be like smoother. You know what I mean? Because like language is complex, but it's also simple. Like everything that you say on a daily basis, whether you know it or not, you say it like every single day. You've probably said it 1,000 times. Like if I just think about my work conversations, like, "Hey, good morning. How you doing? Uh, how was your weekend?" "Oh, it was good. I didn't really do anything." Like I've said it was good. I didn't really do anything, but I consider that doing something. I've said that exact sentence at least 5,000 times. And every time I say it, like I don't know I'm gonna say it. I'm like, well, I didn't really do anything, but I guess that's considered doing something, right? And I just say that to every single person I talk to. So it's kind of the same with everyone in every language. They say the same stuff all the time. And so once you could kind of get that pattern, you'll be better off. Charlie's Spanish journey. What's up? Okay, you driving? Yeah, bro. Don't crash for us, bro. It's not worth it. We ain't talking about nothing up in here. Okay, okay. So you're a personal trainer or a coach or something, right? Because you're asking a client, has she done this workout before? What did you try to say, and what do you think you said? What do you think you messed up on? Because there's a few different ways you could ask that question. Um, but I'll wait for you to maybe tell me what you said to her. and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Because it kind of depends on if you by workout, if you meant a specific exercise or that whole routine. That's another thing too. So I was a personal trainer for a really long time. Right now, I'm a strength and conditioning coach uh, for the government, and but I still work with Spanish speakers. And so one thing that will really mess you up is if you don't know the name of the exercise. So it's cool. Like a lot of the soldiers I work with are Puerto Rican, and so they they speak Spanish and English, even if their English isn't the greatest. All of them speak English, and so like me and them, we'll say exercises in English a lot of times, even if the full conversation is in Spanish. We just say the exercise in English, just because sometimes when you learn something in a certain context, it's easier to say it that way. So they're in the army and they take a specific test. And so when they think of those exercises, they were given those instructions in English. So even if they're talking to someone else that only speaks Spanish, they might still say push-ups instead of like flexiones or something like that, right? And so, okay, so you said todavía instead of alguna vez. Okay, yeah. And like I said, was this a specific exercise or or were you asking her, have you done this full routine before? The fact that you put esta makes me think it was a specific exercise, right? You were saying like, have you done this? Yeah, you could say alguna vez, but you also could not. You could just say, well, I mean, you put so maybe you were speaking to her with usted. I don't know. But let's assume you're speaking to her um, with usted. You could just say, ha hecho blank. You could say alguna vez, like to specify, hey, have you ever done this? But if you say, have you done this? It's kind of like English, right? I can say, have you ever done a squat? Or I can say, have you done a squat? What I like to do personally is if I'm saying something that I'm not comfortable saying, I like to take the most simple route, right? Because the more words you say and the more complex you make it, the more your brain's gonna go crazy and you might start stumbling over stuff. So, like, forgive me because I don't know grammar terms in English or Spanish, but we have these two different versions of the past in both of our languages, multiple versions of the past. And so, okay, squats, sentadillas. So you can say, have you done this? But you know, you can make things more simple. Like in English, I would say, you done this before? You did this? Did you already do this? It just depends. Whatever's easiest for you to say, that's what I would go with. I wouldn't complicate things that you don't have to complicate. I always say the most simple thing, and if someone's confused, then I'll expand on it, and then I'll make it more complicated, just to make sure we're on the same page. But that's personal preference. If you wanna go for the big sentences, don't let me stop you because getting uncomfortable is good. You might mess it up once or twice, but I find also that the things that I've messed up, it's like I never forget them again. Maybe it's like out of embarrassment, but the memory is so strong of me saying it the wrong way and like the person correcting me or being confused. Damn it. And then I never make the mistake again for the most part. So but that's why I'm like a big advocate of like getting out there and making mistakes because you need like I don't want to call them embarrassing moments because that puts like a negative connotation on it, right? But you need like those uncomfortable moments where you're like, why do I not know this? Or like, how did I never learn this? To like kind of burn the memory in your head. I've told this story before on here, but I remember um my wife's mom, like this was like I was able to talk at this time. I wasn't like advanced or anything. I was probably like upper beginner, but I could have a conversation. And she was up in here and she was like, she said, "Donde están las ollas?" And I was like, "Las ollas." Sí, ¿dónde están? Phew, las ollas. And like she literally just opened up the drawer and pulled out the pots and was like, "Las ollas." And I'm like, "Oh, I knew that. I knew that. I just couldn't think of it. I don't know what happened with my brain. I just lost it. I couldn't think of the word." Bro, I have nightmares about that conversation. And so I would never forget that word again. Ever. There's no way I could forget it. Literally every time I think about that situation, like I just want to cry. I'm just like, how did I not know that, bro? Like, we're having a conversation about politics and stuff, and she asked me where the pots are, and I'm like, I don't know what pots are. How do you join without seeing? Um, we can set it up. If you if you get my email should be on here. You could email me if you want. We could do like a podcast or something like that, or you could join a live one day and we could turn the lights off or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've seen my videos before. I like getting people on here that are learning, or I talk to native speakers on here too. But I like doing the podcast in Spanish with people that are learning because it's an opportunity to practice your Spanish. Me too. Like, I still commit tons of mistakes, like or make tons of mistakes. I'm just mixing languages in my head right now. I still make tons of mistakes. I just don't care. Like you just get to a point where like it's the same as like English, right? Like how many grammar mistakes have I made during the 42 minutes of this live? I don't know because I don't care. You understand what I'm saying? I'm sure none of you doubt that I'm intelligent. Even if you heard me make a grammar mistake, you'll just be like, either he did that on purpose or he doesn't know about this tiny little rule, but like, who cares? You know what I mean? So that's what I had to get over in Spanish in the beginning, like thinking that making those mistakes made me unintelligent, or just not even made me unintelligent, but made me seem unintelligent to the person I was talking to. Like I value I value my intelligence. Like that's part of who I am. So I really didn't want to talk to people and them think that I was a dumbass. You know what I mean? But you're learning a language, like you're not gonna sound incredibly smart in the beginning. It's just impossible. I think the people that I talked to probably knew, like, he's probably smart in English, but right now he's just not smart in Spanish. So, but it's like I said, it's just a language learning process. Like sometimes I hear people that are learning English, and I can tell from the words that they're trying to use in English that they're smart. But obviously, like they just started learning English, and it's like, yeah, this is a struggle right now. That's fine. It's another language, maybe your second, third, fourth language. I don't know what number it is for you. So I'm not gonna make any um, judgments based on how you speak a language that you weren't born speaking. And that's how people usually feel, which is why it's a double-edged sword. But usually, if you try to speak Spanish to someone, they'll say, "Oh, hablas muy bien, hablas muy bien," clap, 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 right? But usually they're just impressed that you're learning. And that doesn't actually mean that you're speaking well or that you're not making a shit ton of mistakes. So don't don't uh don't get too hyped off of those compliments and like stop the learning process because like not trying to be disrespectful, but like I've heard people say to like the worst Spanish I've ever heard in my life. Like, oh my God, you're so good. So I never took those compliments to heart. I would just say, thank you, but keep it pushing. Still study more, still try to learn because like the more you learn, the more you realize like you just truly don't know anything. And that's just life, right? That's not even just language. But definitely in language. Like there's this grammar page that I follow on TikTok of all places where this dude teaches his daughter. Like he'll have his daughter say something incorrectly that I always like, what? That's not right. And he'll be like, incorrecto. And then he like explains how it's like how you're supposed to say it. And I'm like, yo, so I just been saying this shit wrong for 2 years and no one was gonna tell me. But you look in the comments and it's just like thousands of native speakers like, oh, I never knew that. But it makes sense. Like, what was the last video I watched? Okay, so the last video I watched, he had his daughter. His daughter was like, Papa, mira esa nube. And he was just like, incorrecto. And he went on to explain that, like, so like the descriptors, este, ese, y aquel. For este, is if something is near you. Hold on, let me make sure I'm saying this right. If something is near you but far from the listener, then it's este, I think. If something is near them but far from you, then it's ese. And if it's far from both you guys, then it's aquel. So the correct thing that she was supposed to say was aquella. But let me look up the let me look that up before I lie to y'all and have y'all speaking crazy. I can't remember because I was so thrown off. Because I would have said, mira ese nube. And everyone in the comments was like, wow, so I don't speak Spanish basically. I'm probably not. I'm probably not gonna find this on the internet because it was a really good explanation. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The point is, there's always more to learn, and that's not even something that I would have thought about before. I would have just been like, bro, that's too complicated. They're gonna know what I'm saying. But like I said, the more you learn, the more intelligent you get in a subject, you want to learn more. You're like, okay, like this is a step up. Like I want to get better. And I like finding stuff like that and making those mistakes because I know I'm getting better. I know the more mistakes I'm making, the more I can see the mistakes I'm making, anyways, because you can make a lot of mistakes and not realize that you're making any mistakes. So there's kind of like no embarrassment, right? Like when you first start learning the language, you're like, yo, I had a conversation today. Like, you don't know any of the mistakes that you make because you're not good enough to know the mistakes. So then you get to that upper beginner, lower intermediate stage where like you can see most of the mistakes you're making and it's embarrassing because you're like, why am I saying this? I know that this isn't correct. My brain just messed up and I said it, blah, blah, blah. And so to me, the more critical I get of my own Spanish, the more I'm like, okay, like I'm getting better. Like, because yeah, I just remember times where I would just be like, you know what, like I'm never gonna understand the subjunctive. Like I'm just not gonna try. Like for what? Doesn't make any sense. And then I remember I started getting the hang of it, and I was like, yo, I'm using the subjunctive. And then I was just like, I'm so wrong. I use the subjunctive wrong every single time, or I use it when I don't need to, and then the next time I don't use it when I should. Sit on the chair, but it should be sit in the chair. Yeah, see, little stuff like that. It's like no one actually cares. And actually, someone might care more if you were learning English. Like, you can hear a lot of mistakes people make in English when they're learning, and you know it's wrong, but it's like, hold on, I say it wrong because like that's just how I talk. Are you saying it wrong because you think it's right, or are you saying it wrong because like you know what I mean? Like, so language is tough, man. Language is tough. And there's like regionalisms, like everyone talks differently where they're from. So, when I was growing up, they'll say like ain't a word, but I'm from the South. I'm like, yes, it is. It's 100% a word. Ain't y'all. Um, I'll tell you something we're talking about at work because I said this and everyone was like, that is not, that's that's crazy. Let me show you. Y'all. 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 I think there needs to be an extra apostrophe there. So I'm from the South. I'm not gonna say you all would have loved this. I'd be like, y'all would have loved this, bro. Y'all would have loved them if y'all had seen them. But spelling that out like that is crazy. Like that's something. If I was writing, I would put either y'all would have or you you guys would have loved him. You guys would have loved this. But like talking, like y'all would have loved that. Now, if someone's learning English, I don't think I would teach them that. That's something that you either have to pick up from talking to people. Yeah, you have to live in an area to talk like that. And then if you go somewhere else and English is your second language, someone might tell you like, "Oh, you're saying that incorrectly. Like that's not how it's supposed to be said." What do you do at that point? You're a non-native speaker and a native speaker is telling you that you're wrong. It's tough. So there's been a handful of times that I've said something in Spanish that I'm pretty sure is correct, right? And I know it's correct because like I spent so much time studying it. Not necessarily studying it, but like I would hear it somewhere and I'm like, oh, what's this concept? And I would say it or I would read about it and I'm like, okay, I got that locked in. And then I say it and the person's like, oh yeah, that's incorrect. You shouldn't say that. And I'll be like, I'm not about to argue with a native speaker, but like they're wrong. And that just straight up. Sometimes native speakers are wrong. A lot of grammar rules we don't even know. Like there's a lot of English speakers on YouTube that'll say like English has no subjunctive. And I'm like, yes, it does, bro. Just because you don't know you're using it or you don't know how to use it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So some person that's learning English says they're using a subjunctive and some native English speaker says, you're wrong. We don't have one. What are they really supposed to do? You can argue about it, but it's like, whatever, bro, you got it. What you doing? Yeah. And that's it. That goes into regionalisms. And if you're black, we talk differently than the rest of the country. And it's very, very valid. Um, yeah. African American vernacular English is just different. Another thing that you can't really teach. You had to grow up around black people. You gotta be black. Yeah. Or else you're just not gonna understand. Like the habitual be killing non-black people. Like if I say, yeah, he be doing that. They'd be like, be he be doing that? What does that mean? I'm just like he does that all the time. Like basically gotta translate. So it's like, yeah. And so that actually I got a young, old a former client of mine that is young, not a young old client. A former client of mine that is young is black and he's learning Spanish. And I always have to tell him, I'm like, you're gonna have to basically, like, when you do these translations, you have to do these translations with, like, quote unquote proper English, because the way we talk is not going to transfer over to Spanish well, because it's just different. Now, what it could do is it could help you with Caribbean Spanish. There's a lot of stuff in the Caribbean dialects where I'm like, oh yeah, like I've been talking like that my whole life. So um, yeah, interesting stuff. I think I can definitively say that Mike is not coming unless this is my last. Hold on one second. So this is what I think happened. It's possible that there was a miscommunication because I thought we said 10 o'clock. I put the preview thing up, but I'm thinking now, like maybe he said 10 o'clock, thinking that 10 o'clock was actually 11 o'clock for me. I should have really looked at. Yeah, I have IGS. I'll type it in. But yeah, he texted me actually like 25 minutes ago and asked me, was I ready? So I think we had a miscommunication. Um, it's fine though. If he uh if he drops in, in the next little bit of time, I'll continue this live. But if he doesn't come in like 10, 15 minutes, probably call it a day. Right now, I think it's just me and you, Francis. I mean, the thing says there's 5 people in here, but like, I think it only show me who's in here if like if they're subscribed to me. I don't think it shows me non-subscribers, so I don't know who like the random people watching it are. All right, here's what I'm gonna do because I really gotta use the bathroom. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Yeah, it says 7 on yours. It says 5 on mine right now. The number like fluctuates. See, I didn't even know you was in here, Phil. So maybe it don't have to do with subscribers because like if I click on participants, like your name isn't on there. So that's what I always say. Like if you come in here, like say something, say hi, say anything, ask a question or something, just because I think there's nobody in here, and I just keep talking to the same person that's saying stuff. I mean, if you want to just watch and not say anything, that's cool. But I think this would be more interactive and cool if you say something. Okay, yeah, maybe if you're not being active, it doesn't count you as a guest, but that's still kind of weird. So maybe right when you come in, pause. It'll say that you're a part of it, but if you just sit there and don't do anything, maybe it doesn't count. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. Oh, All right. What I might do is I might just join his. So, what y'all think? Should I join his or should I force him to come to mine? This guy. Me. I want to. I'm just texting Mike right now because he's on live on his channel. So we're having some technical difficulties. We're gonna see if we can get him in here. I think I can maybe send it to his email. This guy. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get off of here right now, and I'm gonna try to figure this out with him. And then if I can't figure it out, maybe I'll start another live up. So just be on the lookout for the next like 5 minutes or so. But thank y'all for watching. I will see y'all later.